Hello, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I want you to know I appreciate all of you who leave me these beautiful comments and subscribe to my channel, share my channel. And I want you to sit back and enjoy today's message. And the title is, You Will Be Amazed at How Things Fall Magically into Place When You Release the Illusion of Control. Now, before I go on, I have a poem, a message that was given to me about this recording. And it's called Releasing Control. When you are serene, calm as the sea, nothing external can control you or me. Life's about releasing control, allowing your faith to take hold. It might be scary, but it's necessary. If you want good relationships, an easier life, a messenger who follows, which avoids your strife, then let it go, release control. Allow your guidance to take hold. They will never lead you astray. They carry no agendas too. They truly know what's best for you. Giving you whatever you need can only happen if you too believe that releasing control is a benefit for you, allows you to sail through life like you always wish you could do. Try it for a day, see how your life improves in all ways. Control issues come in many different forms. When people are not in control of their own lives, they try and control others. So, that is one thing I know you can all relate to. When, like your parents, for instance, were always telling you what you should and shouldn't do, if you had parents like that. Or other people don't agree with your belief system and they try to tell you how things should be. That is a control issue. There's a lot of control issues also in relationships of all kinds, which I'll get into a little bit further. But it's an important lesson for all of you to understand and to learn and to recognize and to release it. Now, there's other ways that you are in control. There's a million ways that you're in control. Now, let me explain this, which was in my poem. We all have a higher self. Our higher self is our multidimensional self. Our higher self is in other dimensions, traveling in other galaxies, and knows you because your higher self is you. I say it's the person who has no drama, no stress, no control, no fear, none of that. And they are your guides. I always say they, but it's actually yourself. And excuse me, I'm getting over a cold here. So I've said in a lot of videos, you ought to have a relationship with your higher self, and always ask your higher self if this is true, or even if you go out to dinner, is this the best food for me? If you want to date somebody, is this a person I should date? Why not? Why go through all the drama, the heartaches and the pains? Because you want to be in control of your life. And that's it. You want to be in control instead of allowing your higher self to guide you. And I'm not saying that your higher self controls you. I'm saying you've all heard the statement, release control and let God. And it's the best way to be. Now, how does it show up in your life? Well, it can show up in excessive worries by other people, when people actually tell you to be safe. Well, that's a form of control, because they are planting fear. You're going to go on a trip and you have to be safe, which the opposite of being safe is that something bad can happen to you. Why else would people tell you be safe? Well, nothing bad ever happens. And everything that does happen happens for a reason. And it could be a lesson. It could be something you created all without you even thinking about it. So you need to release that statement to be safe, because everything in the universe has a plan. And everything happens for a reason. And if you get into a situation, you can connect with your higher self and let them guide you. It shows up in relationships when people give you ultimatums. Ultimatums is a control issue. Why would anyone tell you that you have to do this or else? Now, I actually am a highly rebellious person. And one of my past life psychics years ago told me that that is my stamp in my life. I've always been rebellious ever since I was created. And I still am. And here, me, who's very rebellious, was raised in a family who was all about control. They controlled every single thing about me. I couldn't wear my hair the way I wanted to, or I would be punished. I couldn't wear the clothes I wanted to wear. I had to wear what my mother picked out. And later on in life, after I got divorced and I had a child, my parents would say things like, well, we'll watch her if you do this first. Or, what have you done for me lately? You know, that type of, it's abuse. It's totally abuse. But obviously, I'm sure you're all aware, if I'm here helping you with your emotions, it's because I've had to learn how to deal with mine. And trust me, I had tons. But in any case, it's pretty much an example of something maybe you can relate to. And, you know, I'm an open book. I don't have anything to hide. So ultimatums, or even like mothers with new children, they have, when they're out of control. So let me tell you this. When you're not in control of your own life, then you go out and try to control everybody else's life. Because people who get into your business or try to tell you what you should do are not in control of their own life. That's why they do it. And mothers, new mothers are a perfect example. There's, you know, young couples, they fall in love, they get married, they have this great relationship, then they decide to have children, and all of a sudden the mother has major control issues. Now, trust me, not all mothers do that, obviously, but there's a lot who do this. And they go to a point of not allowing anyone to hold the baby, not even the father. Like, they don't trust anyone but themselves. They're the only ones who can do everything and know everything, because now all of a sudden, that's my baby. And I know you've seen it. It's a sad thing. And if you're one of these people that do this and you're watching this, understand that that's not a good behavior to have. And you want to learn how to feel good and love yourself and be able to trust yourself and your guides and release those control issues. Now, people use control for money and jobs. Trying to apply for a job, they feel like they have to have everything right and do everything right. And if they don't do what they should do, which what does that mean? Then they worry excessively, and then they blame themselves and get mad at themselves if they didn't get the job that they think they were qualified for. That is a control issue, because this has been the writing on the wall ever since the earth was created. Nobody on this planet will ever get hired in a position unless it's meant to be. If you learn something from that position and you can teach others, you will get a job in that place. Otherwise, you will not get hired. I don't care what your background is, what your experience is, but what do you all do? You get upset with yourself, you get mad at yourself because you did something wrong. And that is another point. You don't do anything wrong and beat yourself up. It's another message that's been relayed to everyone. You did this wrong, that's why you got sick, or this is wrong, that's why you didn't get your job, or you said this wrong to your boyfriend, that's why he broke up with you. That's not really reality. Because in reality, when you release control, you know that you can go out on these job interviews, do and be yourself, and not try to be someone that you're not. And if they don't hire you, it wasn't meant to be, and it's nothing to get upset about. It's kind of like you always have to be in charge of everything, and you just don't know how to let things go and trust that things will happen. Now, years and years and years ago, and I've shared this on my videos, how your guides are with you 24/7. And they leave you messages all the time. And they're guiding you all the time. But if you're not aware of it, then you see it as a problem. And not with your guides, because you don't know your guides are guiding you. You just see it as a problem with the world. And you get mad at the world, or you get mad at the job, or you get mad at an apartment complex, or you get mad at doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs. You just get mad at everybody because you don't realize that you've already received a message about the situation that you're trying to get involved with. So, for instance, if you want to have a place to live and you look for an apartment, let's say, and you go up to this apartment and there's a sign on the door that they're out to lunch or they'll be back in 15 minutes. That is your guides telling you, do not waste your time. That's it. And when you need to get someplace and you're running late, and then you get into your car and you race to your appointment, and then there's lights after lights, and you get mad, and you're actually trying to be in control of the whole situation without realizing that the lights that you keep running into is a message from the universe telling you that wherever you're headed to, that person is not available or is running late. And that's a message. So you can just sit back and relax. Because when you release control and let your guides guide you, then what is there to stress about? I will make plane reservations and I will ask my guides, should I go this time, this time, this time, this time, and this time? And so I don't have to worry about a plane being late. But the last time I did this, the plane was delayed. And is it because my guides gave me the wrong information? No. It's because for some reason I needed to wait. Who knows what the reason is? You need to realize you're always protected. You're always guided, whether you realize it or not. And you need to release control. Now, in dating, and this actually shocked me when I found out that texting can be a form of control depending on your mindset. Now, in the past, I did this when I was dating all these people or trying to date all these people, and they were always like internet dating. I would text a guy, but I would text him like good morning without realizing I was being in control, because this is what I would do. Send him a text and expect a response like right away. Because if you like me, you will respond to me. That's what you're taught, right? That's what I was taught. If some guy likes you, they'll respond to you. They'll want to hear from you. They'll be happy to hear from you. And if this person doesn't respond in, a quick time, then that's a control issue, which, like I said, shocked me. But think about it this way. I text this guy and I'm expecting, which you have to get rid of that too, an expectation, expecting him to respond quickly. Then he doesn't respond quickly, and then go through the whole list of he's an asshole, he's not worth dating, I'm not going to see or talk to him anymore, I'm just going to dump his ass. Because he didn't respond to me when I expected him to, and I'm trying to control the situation by saying, like, I can just say jump and let's see how far you'll jump. I mean, that's where you see a lot of control, is with relationships, with lovers, with husbands, with boyfriends, with girlfriends, with parents, with grandparents, with sisters, with brothers, with your children. All of that is about trying to control everybody, control everything that everybody does. And we don't do that. Life is about trusting, loving self, and you want to be free. You love yourself and you release control. Because when you release control, you don't have anything to fear or worry about, because you trust your guides. And even so, when things don't happen exactly how you think they should have, then that doesn't matter either, because you always know in back of your mind, or in the forefront, really it should be at the forefront, that everything happens for a reason and everything is positive. I mean, I could have got on that plane earlier and maybe it would have broke down. Maybe the person that I met in the waiting area was someone that I would never have met. Maybe we exchanged energies. Maybe somebody was coming that was sick and needed your energy. You just never know. So you just release control, because it is an illusion. Trust me, it's not reality. So you trust yourself, you follow your guidance, you listen to your heart, because that's where your guidance is. You release fear. Now, I wrote a note here about my life. I already told you about my hair, I have my clothes. But I just want you to know, if you're that type of person and you're raising children, which hopefully you're not anymore, I mean, I never knew who I was. And people in my generation who were raised by controlling parents took forever to find out, well, what do I like? Who am I? You don't even know, because you can never learn and develop yourself. So it took me a very long time of growing and developing myself. And it was one step after another. And nobody ever helped me with this. When any negative would happen in my life, I was always guided. So I have a great relationship with my guides. I think, and I could just be guessing, that with me, they made a mistake and put me in the wrong family. But regardless, doesn't matter. I survived. And I survived with guides. They saved my life. So, because I trust them so explicitly, and my higher self, and that's how I go through my life, then I have no stress. I have no fear. You just wake up in the morning, you live in the present moment, and you always want to live in the present moment, because nothing bad is in the present moment. It's your thoughts from your past or your worries of your future that creates a lot of your stress and problems, right? So you live in the present moment, you trust your guides. When you're not feeling well, even, you can ask your guides, do you need to see the doctor? You just let it go. Let it all go, and it all works itself out. Everything does. It's obviously something that you all need to know, otherwise I wouldn't be given this topic. And something for you to notice, that maybe close people in your life try to control you, and maybe you weren't aware if that was a control issue. Or maybe you still are full of control issues that you need to release. I seriously don't know. But releasing control is magical. Now, I've talked about this many times before. I'm going to bring it up because I have a lot of new followers. Just quickly, twice I've done this. When I was looking for a job, I got guidance from my guides telling me that they wanted me to work in a specific place and I would get hired there, where they weren't hiring anyone. It was plastered all over the internet. Did I follow what was plastered on the internet? No, I followed what my guides told me, even though it seemed totally and completely impossible. And lo and behold, I got a job where it was written on the internet, we are not hiring. So when you release control, when you don't follow the internet and other people, but only your guides, they lead you to your destination. There was another time, which is major time, when I moved to Oregon in 2014. Every single person I knew thought I was absolutely crazy, because I was given the message that I needed to quit my job and move to Oregon. I was told not to find a place to live first, but to hire a mover and just go. And an apartment was already picked out for me in a state I've never been to, in a place. I had a friend's daughter who lived there that I stayed with for, until I found a place. So that was good. But she was more like a niece to me. but not a blood relative. Not that that matters, because blood doesn't mean that much anyway. but beside the point, I did it, not knowing why, how come, but what we always do is I tried to figure it out. I tried to analyze it. I assumed that I was going to retire there, that I was going to get a job doing Reiki there, that, I don't know, maybe I was going to meet my twin there. Who knows? I mean, those were all the things that I was thinking about, and none of that happened. And, you know, obviously I figured out why I was sent there. It was the most spiritual experience. It accelerated my growth big time because I just did it. Didn't know why, but I trust. That's what you need to do. Trust, 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 and release control. And magical things will happen in your life when you least expect it. Who knows what's going to happen? But that's the excitement of it, you know? And when it was time for me to return, you know, I was given detailed information on the place that I was going to find and why it was available, what the reason was. I mean, who was going to find it for me, because it wasn't an apartment. It was a privately owned condo, you know, and all the signs. And I just, you know, don't stress over it. I just allow. Just, you release control and you allow the universe to take over. And if you want to call that control, go ahead. Why not? They're not controlling, they're guiding. There is a difference. But I'm sure some of you have that thought. Anyway, this is the message. I hope you understand it, and I hope you follow it for your own sake. And if you're not ready to do that, someday maybe I planted a seed, and when the time is right for you to just go for it, then you will see how magical your life will be. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe. Please like, please share, and I always appreciate your comments. Thanks. Bye.